Hello fellow foodies. If the thought of chicken with anchovies sounds unappealing, then I really encourage you to try this recipe. The anchovies add a rich umami flavour that really elevates the dish, and it doesn't taste fishy at all. It is truly delicious. I start by prepping my ingredients. I dice a medium onion and then I finely chop 3 cloves of garlic. I need about 3 tablespoons of finely chopped black olives, so I tip a few Kalamata olives from the jar and I finely dice them. You can use any black olives. I put the olives into a separate bowl because they'll be added right at the end with the anchovies. Then I take about 4 anchovies, and you can totally and probably should wash them, but I don't mind the extra saltiness, so I don't bother, and I just dice them finely and add that to the bowl with the olives. And that's prep done almost. I take the chicken pieces. I'm using drumsticks today, about 1.5 kilos, but any chicken pieces with the bone in will work. Usually I use bone in thigh pieces, however the drumsticks turned out really good. I pat them dry with a paper towel and then I sprinkle some salt and pepper generously over the chicken and rub that in a little. Time to start browning the chicken. I really want to get some nice colour on the chicken, and from now on it's a one-pot dish. I take my heavy pot, I warm it up a little on the stove, and then I add some oil to cover the base of the pot. I place half the chicken drumsticks into the pan and saute them, turning often until they show some lovely brown colour. The more colour on the chicken, the more flavourful the dish. This process takes me about 8 minutes each batch. After the second batch has finished browning, I remove the chicken from the pan. I'm not left with much oil at all, so I don't have to remove any, but if you're left with too much oil, just remove some and leave a thin film. Then I add the onions and garlic and I stir continuously over a moderately low heat until they show some colour and are softened, about 5 minutes. Next I add 1 cup of dry white wine and 3 tablespoons of wine vinegar. Next, 1 cup of chicken stock. I'm just using chicken stock powder. 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, and I give that a stir and bring it to the boil, deglazing the pan. I add the chicken pieces. I forgot about the bay leaves. You'll need 2 bay leaves, so I add that to the pot. I add the rest of the chicken and any juice left in the chicken bowl, which is all flavour. I reduce the heat to low and cover it with a tight fitting lid. The chicken will take about 30 minutes to braise, and I'll turn it over halfway. Whilst the chicken is cooking, I whip up a really lovely tomato salad. I slice some juicy red tomatoes, about 4 large tomatoes, and I place them on a plate. Then I finely slice just a little red onion, about half a small one. I sprinkle the onion slices over the tomatoes, and then I make a quick dressing. I take 1 small clove of garlic, thinly slice it and then chop it finely. I place the garlic into a little jar. I add 3 tablespoons of olive oil and a small pinch of sea salt, 1 tablespoon of wine vinegar, and I had some fresh basil, so I chop up just about a tablespoon, but you can substitute this for 1 teaspoon of dried basil instead. And I put the lid on the jar and I shake it for about 20 seconds until the oil has emulsified and I'm left with a lovely dressing. I take a small handful of fresh parsley and I chop a little of that. I pour the dressing all over the tomato salad and it looks so pretty, especially in the lovely light. And then I scatter the parsley over the top and that's the salad done. The chicken has been simmering away for about 15 minutes, so I take off the lid and I rotate the pieces of chicken in the pot. I place the lid back on and I cook it for about another 15 minutes or so. After the chicken has been cooking for 30 minutes in total, I remove the lid and then I remove the chicken. It is so super tender, and I set the chicken aside in a dish. Now it's time to finish the sauce. If your sauce is thin, cook it down a little longer, however mine was quite thick. I give it a little stir, deglazing the pan, and then I add the black olives and anchovies that I cut earlier, and I warm that through gently just for a couple of minutes, and that's the sauce done. I spoon all of the sauce over the chicken, every last bit. It is so flavourful and delicious, you don't want to waste any of it. I sprinkle the chicken with some fresh parsley and thyme to plate up. I place the chicken onto the plates, and then I take some of the lovely tomato salad and place it onto the plates, pouring a little dressing over. And there you have it. So yum. Give it a try. You won't be disappointed. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you again soon.